Hi all and welcome back to Oligo Models. Today we're going to be building Pack 4, Stage 12 of build the USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D from Hero Collector over at Eaglemoss. So let's just get straight on and see what we've got in this stage. So opening up the pack, we can see what we've got. So it looks like we've got, out of the way, some more of the supports here for the skeleton section. We've got another window piece there and a reflector behind it, and then it looks like we've got quite a lot of BM screws. And then also, if I bring back in now, that was stuck in the pack, we've got some BP screws as well. I did think it was a little strange here, there weren't any BP screws in there, since I know we're going into plastic. We said it was just me not looking properly in the pack. However, with all those pieces laid out, let's build this. So getting back on with this rear piece of the battle neck here, the first thing that it wants us to do is take the windows and the window blanks that we've got here, like we saw in the last episode, that are pre-formed, and we're going to place them into the slot over here on this side. See, we're kind of starting to get quite a few kind of wires in here now, so kind of harder to see some things. We'll try and move some of these wires out of the way so we can see as clearly as possible. So with those wires out of the way, we want to take the wire that we used in this bottom one over here that we bent last time, and just like last time, we're going to bend this one as well through 90 degrees so that it will then be able to sit in this slot down the bottom here. Again, just as we've done before, to make sure these LEDs do sit in place and they don't wriggle around, I'm going to drop just a tiny bit of glue in, and we're going to sit those in place and get those stuck in. So with that one stuck in, we've now got to do the same to the top one. Notice, remembering last time, it didn't tell us to bend the top LED. However, it is now suggesting that it might be easier to bend that up out of the way. So with this other LED, we are going to do exactly the same. I'm going to bend it before I even put it in, just to make life easier, and then taking a drop of glue again to make sure it sits in place. I'm going to push that in like so. So with that sitting there, we're now going to get out our BP screws, the ones that we thought we might have lost. Get those out, and then we're going to bring over the window reflector. So this piece here that we've seen before that goes over the back of the windows. So we're going to slot it on, just like so. Make sure it sits in place nicely. Once I'm happy with that fit there, using BP screws, it's falling, losing an LED there. Push that back in. We'll hold it in place as we're going to screw it in now anyway, and we're going to screw it into place with the BP screws. So that's one. The second one, the third one, and that's the fourth one in place. So with those now all in place and done, the next thing that it does want us to do is test them. So we're going to bring in the battery box, we're going to bring in our the test board that we've used before, and then we're going to plug everything into the right place. So I'm sure it doesn't really matter kind of what slots they go into. However, we'll do as they ask, and we'll kind of make sure that things slot into the right places. So The one from these top windows here wants to go into A, so making sure that we've got things lined up. I'm going to slot that in. Then these windows and these lights up here are going to be going into the slots next to it. So then the wire, which I think was 11D, so the shorter of the two strings of lights that we did before, wants to go into C, which is over on this side. And then this last one is going into D. Down there. So we'll try and move that out of the way. And then with all of the wires plugged in, the battery term, or the battery box rather, goes in to F down the bottom. So we'll plug that in. And with that in, show how clearly we can see it on the cameras. That's better over on this one over here, but we can see all the lights now lit up. And if I actually have a good look at it, certainly on the top ones, these top rows of lights here, there actually doesn't appear, certainly that I can see, to be any light bleeds, which is good. So with those tested now, we'll unplug the batteries, or the battery box rather, from the board. I won't take it apart now, but we're going to move that off to one side. With that out of the way, we're going to bring back in the skeleton section for the saucer, kind of moving those spare screws out of the way. And then we're going to get our BM screws out ready, as we're going to need all of those. We'll make sure we've got some oil ready. So I'm going to turn this over to make sure it's the right way up for screwing into already, and then we're going to take out two of these pieces from the packaging, and we're going to slot them into the places where they need to go. So we're going to have one lot going in here and one section going in over here, like so. So we'll get ourselves a screw, drop in a bit of oil, and then this first one is probably going to be a little tricky to do. But hopefully, if we can get it lined up nicely with a little bit of pressure down on the top. Oh, perfect. Get it lined up, and then we can screw it into place. I'm not going to screw it all the way in straight away. I'm going to get the other screw again in a drop of oil. Start screwing that one in. Now that I know both screws are in, let's get it done up tightly. There's the first one, nice and tight. And that's the second one in. And then we're going to carry on with the BM screws. We're going to get this next support in place. So this time I think we are going to need to kind of hold it from underneath to support it, which isn't too tricky to do. So we're going to start screwing that in. Where that's in partially, we get our next screw. Start getting that other one screwed in, and we'll make them both nice and tight. So that's the first screw tight. Carry on with the second one, and there we go. We've got the two more supports in place on that side. With those ones in place, we're going to turn this saucer section around. We'll move our screws out of the way, just like we've done on the other side, we now need to do the same on this side. So we're going to get ourselves a screw ready. We're going to use a slightly taller one, get it roughly into place, start screwing it in. Where that's biting and holding now, we'll take another screw and start getting that second screw in. So that's that one nice and tight. And that one tight, and then again we'll do the same with this other piece. So again we'll get ourselves a screw ready, and remembering on this one it's not quite so easy to support it from underneath. We'll hold it in place. So with that one biting, we'll get another screw. I'm going to start doing this second one. That one's tight. The same with this one. And there we go, we've got these extra supports on either side, over here this side and over here on this side. So we can see that this is getting quite big now. It will be nice to actually get this this piece finished off, and then to actually start getting pieces of the I suppose the outer body actually kind of screwed or glued into place on it, and see what it looks like. But anyway, those will all be for future videos, as and when we get the magazines and the parts. But anyway, I do hope you liked that video. If you did, make sure you do leave a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed and you want to be kept up to date with all of my latest videos, make sure you click that subscribe button and you hit the notification bell. Until next time, take care.